Ja Morant said his Memphis Grizzlies were fine in the West. Let's see. They're down 3-2 in Los Angeles. As Jack Nicholson, longtime Lakers season ticket holder, made his return for Game 6. Could LeBron and the Lakers show Jack a Hollywood ending to this first round? It's LeBron with the easy deuce. And then look at this rejection from Anthony Davis on Ja. Other end we go is LeBron James for sure. Look at AD just says, give me that to Ja. Other end, LeBron with the finish. More good Lakers offense. It's LeBron lining it up and knocking it down. Pretty good for an old man. D'Angelo Russell knows where to get the rock. He finds AD, who puts it in. Lakers already up double digits, second quarter. LeBron nailing the baseline jump shot over Dillon Brooks. Pretty good for an old man. It's LeBron and D'Lo connecting. Lakers up by 17 as LeBron reverses at the rim. 59-42 was your halftime score. Could the Memphis Grizzlies make a game of this one? The answer was emphatically no, as LeBron, Austin Reeves, and the Lakers continue to attack the Grizzlies. Austin with the Euro step to LeBron's liking. And then D'Lo knocks in another three. He led the Lakers in scoring with 31 points. Dr. Dre approves. D'Lo did a lot of the scoring, but trust and believe this game was controlled by Anthony Davis, who emphatically throws down the alley-oop over the Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson. 16 points, 14 rebounds, 5 blocks for AD. And to close out the third, it's LeBron nailing the three with his son approving. Like Bronny, LeBron would get to sit down and watch the fourth quarter of this one alongside AD. The Lakers didn't need him in the fourth. They blow out the Grizzlies in Game 6 to move on to the second round. Dillon Brooks said he doesn't respect anybody until they go out and give him 40. Where the Lakers beat the Grizzlies by that number, 40, to advance to the second round of the playoffs. What's up, everybody? It's yours truly, the one and only. I go by the name of Hoops Pharaoh. If you're enjoying the great quality content, please make sure you subscribe to the channel for more of your boy.
Slocked up by James. Oh! He rose up. It's not quite winter for LeBron James.
And with that, the Memphis Grizzlies season is over. I think we want to take this video here and focus it on the season that was, the season that could have been for the Grizzlies. I think we'll, for the most part, focus on them and save a Los Angeles video for another time. I just want to say these few things, though, about Memphis. Last year, the season for the Grizzlies ended against the Warriors in the second round. And the two big headlines coming out of that series were Ja Morant and Dillon Brooks from Memphis' side. This year, the Grizzlies lose in the first round as a 2 seed. And to me, the two big headlines coming out of this series were once again Ja Morant and Dillon Brooks. Now, last year, Ja couldn't finish the series. This year, Ja could. Both years, Ja's been injured. I think for Ja Morant, it's time to lab it again. He's a phenomenal talent. It's time to lab it again and find a way to stop going up for some of these acrobatic finishes of the rim where it feels like he's jumping, not knowing what he's going to do. He's so darn athletic at this point in his career. He can literally figure it out in the air. It's not going to last forever. And I'm not a basketball player, but please, Ja, go find Tony Parker. Go talk to Dwayne Wade. Before it got bad for D Wade, he was a really good mid-range jump shooter as well. Go get in the lab with some guys that will tell you about some knees and some hand injuries and fall in the right way before it's too late. And I want to say something personally to Ja, because with all that being said, you know, Ja got to the podium after Game 6 and he did answer questions about Memphis and LA, some of the comments that he made. You know, Ja had declined post-game pressers. I believe after game 4, he declined to talk to the media in LA. And then he talked to the media after the Grizzlies won after game 5 in Memphis. So he didn't want to deal with that smoke on the road. But he did go talk to the media after game 6, a Grizzlies loss to end their season. And I want to give Josh some credit for that. I mean, he doesn't deserve an award. He's the team's leader. He's the team's best player. But he could have declined to talk to the media once again and ended his season on an even sourer note. But he didn't. He went up there, gave the Lakers their proper due for winning. He talked about the season that was. He didn't hold back. You know, he felt like he said, I got to grow as a leader. I commend Ja for how he handled those post-game comments. And I want to take this a step further. I don't know Ja Morant. I've never personally met Ja Morant. I have not been an NBA reporter on the road thus far in my career, so I have not connected with Ja Morant in any capacity. I do know some people that follow one of my platforms on different social sites. I definitely know some people that know Ja Morant that follow me, though. If you love Ja Morant, do me a favor this offseason. Seriously, man. Get Ja out of Memphis this offseason. And I'm saying, obviously, I'm not saying try to get Ja to get traded from the Grizzlies. What I'm saying is physically remove Ja Morant from Memphis this offseason and then bring him back to Memphis when it's time for training camp. Go take that young bull somewhere fun, somewhere where he's not the biggest fish in a very small pond. Because the reality is, Ja Morant was still on his rookie deal this season. The real money's about to kick in now with the endorsements, with all that. Like, Ja's been pretty much the richest guy in all of his friend groups, which creates a lot of power. Well, Ja now is about to become one of the richest people in the entire city. So obviously more money, more power. And it felt like Ja struggled last offseason with more money and more power, let alone what he's going to have going forward. So if I were somebody around Ja, go take him around other people where he's not the biggest fish in a small pond as he continues to grow up and mature. That's not the city you want to have him lacking, crapping on people that he's richer than. I'm just being honest about it. Go take him somewhere around some former NBA players, some guys that's been that dude before that ain't wowed by Ja's money, some trainers that only want to see the young brother win. There's some really good, I'm going to be honest with you, some really good former players that just want to see Ja win, that would love to get around him and help him grow as a person, as a man, all that great stuff. Go take that dude on an island somewhere. Go get him around let's be real, go get that young bull around some women that ain't just wowed by his celebrity. I mean, obviously, to a degree, he's still an NBA player that's incredible. But some women that will be around other celebrities after Ja Morant that know how to conduct themselves in the room. Fellas, y'all know his levels to this. Some women you can tell ain't never been around somebody with something, and some know how to conduct. You know what I mean? Go put him around that. Go put him around some other celebrities that's got a lot of motion going, except NBA Youngboy. Do not put him around NBA Youngboy. Anybody but him. Anybody but Youngboy. Other than that, go take Ja somewhere fun and let him get away and enjoy his offseason. I do like how Ja handled the post-game aspect of it. You know the person who didn't handle it well? It was Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks declined to talk to the media once again. And here we are. Dillon Brooks, an unrestricted free agent this offseason. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Dillon talked a good game and didn't back it up once again. And this series, maybe it was going to shift anyway. Like the energy was going to shift anyway when it got to LA. Like the Lakers won game 1 of this series. They did not blow out Memphis, though. They did not disrespect the Grizzlies. They pretty much put it on Memphis, a couple of these games late in this series. And the energy did shift after Dillon Brooks called LeBron James old. I won't respect nobody until they give me 40. Well, LeBron didn't score 40 points figuratively, but he did, Dillon, put up 20 and 20 on you in one of those games in this series. that equals 40. And then the Lakers as a team, Dillon, they beat you and your Grizzlies by 40, 125-85 in the final game of this series. That's also 40. And you didn't talk to the media after either of those games, which I think, Dillon, with you being one of the young vets on the team, that is just unacceptable behavior. And it continues a pattern of unacceptable behavior by a guy that's supposed to be a leader. You think the team, the team VPs and presidents and owners, you think they happy about what you got going on, not talking to the media? You think they think that's cool, how you represent the franchise? All this stuff is going to become in consideration when when it's time to negotiate your contract. Not to mention, you have become a joke shooting the basketball. And I'm not saying what I think. I'm telling you what's happened. I was at Game 5 in Memphis. One of the worst things you do not want to have happen as a shooter, which I am not, obviously, but as a shooter, a lot of shooters have told me this, is for the home fans to start getting that little groggy nose. It's one thing when the road team is cheering for you to shoot and they think you can't make shots. When your own home team, every time you touch the ball, no. And if you make one, it's like, yes. But more times than not, your home audience is kind of growling and groaning and moaning when you're shooting. That ain't good. And then when I was at Game 5 in Memphis, I did start to hear a little bit of that every time Dillon shot the ball. The crazy thing about it is Dillon actually didn't shoot nowhere near as bad in a couple of these games as he played last year against the Warriors. If Dillon would have been this against the Warriors last year, I think the Grizzlies would have won. I really do. But overall, with the game that he talked, he just lit a fire. And I believe not into just LeBron, but guys around LeBron. I mean, some of these dudes that's in the locker room on that Lakers team, they looked up to LeBron. They think he's the GOAT. They're bad when LeBron walks into the locker room, referencing him being their GOAT. And I'm bringing that up for a reason. What I'm telling you is these guys love and revere and got a lot of respect for LeBron. So even if they don't really care or it ain't the ultimate prize for them to win a championship for their own personal careers, they understand how much it would mean to LeBron. And with you talking smack and, disrespecting that dude on that team, come on now, you was going to rub some people the wrong way within that Lakers group. And he fired up a lot of guys. He fired up some guys to play better throughout this series. And, just adding that on the Grizzlies' back, already down a couple guys, already dealing with injuries on the court. That was that. Then to bail. I'm not calling you a coward, Dillon Brooks. I don't know you, bro. But that was cowardly the way you conducted yourself, how you threw rocks, and then when it didn't go your way, you hid your hand and then talked to the media until Memphis won a game in front of your home reporters. That's whack to me. I don't know what the Grizzlies do with Brooks. I don't know if they bring him back. But he definitely went out on a sour note. And if you remember what I said to y'all, I said, look, Dillon Brooks can become Lance Stevenson or legendary. And he did not become legendary, calling out LeBron and giving the Grizzlies the numbers that he gave them. Wasn't the worst shooter in the world, by the way, after game 2 for Brooks, but nowhere near good enough for the amount of times that he was left open for that Memphis Grizzlies team to be successful. And it definitely weighed on the team. I didn't think Jaren Jackson or Desmond Bane played bad at all. Jaren had some good games to start the series. He didn't finish it well. Bane had some good games to end the series. He didn't start it well. That's pretty much what I thought of the Memphis Grizzlies. Taylor Jenkins has been a phenomenal head coach, has led the Grizzlies to the 2 seed back-to-back years. I think next year will be the first year where people start to say, okay, Taylor, we've seen you get to one of the top-tier seeds out west. What's the next step for you coaching? How do you keep Ja healthy? How do you stop Ja from being in positions where he's just going up recklessly at the rim? I think all this stuff will come into play for Memphis this offseason. A lot of questions for those Grizzlies, man, that unfortunately they were not fine in the West. They 1,000% were not fine in the West. As a matter of fact, not only were they not fine in the West, they were not even able to get out of the first round this year. In fact, they went backwards. Yeah, man. Okay,